Yo guys, what's up and welcome to the next tutorial here on Duct Tape Creations. So in today's tutorial I'll be showing you how to make a case for a deck of cards. So I hope you enjoy this, and let's get started. Alright, so the first thing you want to start off doing before you start making the case for your playing cards is take one of your cards out of the deck you're using as reference for this and get the measurements you need. So if you're using just a basic deck of playing cards, the measurements you're going to have are 2.5 inches in width and 3.5 inches in length. So that's for a basic playing card. So if you're using like a trading card or something along those lines, the measurements will probably be different. Not absolutely sure. You're going to just take your cutting mat or ruler and get the measurements you need. Okay. So once you have the measurements, you're going to cut out 4 strips of tape to start off. And like I said, if you're using a normal deck of cards, the measurements for the 4 strips are going to be 2 3/4 inches long. So once again, you can either use a cutting mat or a ruler to get these measurements. Okay. So you're going to start off with peeling up your first one. Oh, one thing I forgot to say, the measurements, you're going to do the same thing for the measurements depending on your card, or whatever type of card you're using. So back to this, we're just going to stick this together here. So you have this first little double-sided strip of tape. Okay. So we're going to take the third one, and now you're going to stick this to 3.5 inches. So right there. Okay. So now flip this over. So flip this over and just stick this down and cover up the rest of the sticky side. Okay. So now you should have a sheet that looks like this. That is 3.5 inches in length, and then 2 3/4 inches in width. Well, it's really almost 3 inches, but 3 3/4. That's all you need. Okay, so now that's the measurements for this should be just exactly the height of the actual card. So it should just look like this. I'll put this up here so you can see it. So it should look something just like that. Okay. So once you have this sheet done, you're going to make an exact duplicate of this sheet. And then once you have this done, we can move on to once you have this step done, we can move on to making sealing up the sides and the bottom, and then I'll show you how to make the flap for the top. Alright, so now that you've finished making your 2 sheets here that were 3.5 inches in length and then 2 3/4 inches in width, we can move on to make sealing up the sides and bottoms, which you're going to need to cut out a lot of strips to do this. Okay, so to make the to do this side, you're just going to want to cut out 2 strips of tape that are 3.5 inches long, which is like for the side, I think I said. And now once you stick these 2 strips together, so you have double sided, you're just going to cut this right in half. So right like that. So you have these 2 strips here. Okay, and now for the bottom, you're going to want to cut out another 2 strips of tape that are 2 3/4 inches long, and cut that in half as well. Okay, so just like that, and then you don't need the other half of it, so you can just scrap the other one. Okay, and then for these 2 strips here, you need to cut out 2 strips of tape that are 3.5 inches long, and just take your X-Acto knife and just cut those in half as well. So right like that. And do the same thing with this 2 3/4 inches strip here. So just cut that in half like there. Okay. So now we'll get to these strips over here in a bit. That's for the flap at the top. Okay. So what you're going to do, we're going to start with the sides. We're going to do the sides first. So you're going to take one of these strips here, one of your 3.5 inch strips. You're going to take these ones that you cut in half and got a little stuck together there. I guess I need to replace my X-Acto knife. Okay, let's get these undone here. There we go. Okay, so just stick them on like this. Half of them onto the actual double-sided strip, and then half of them on the surface you're working on. So let's do this one here. Let's stick it down right like that. Okay. So now you're going to want to bring over one of your sheets and just stick it down right there, just like that. And if you come up with that little bit of sticky side that's left over at the top, you can just trim that off. It's no big deal. So just like that. Okay. So now take your next sheet and just stick that down right here, right on the other side, right like that. So now you have this band right here in the center, so it will fold. Okay, so now you're going to do the same thing you did with that one on these, or on the same one here. this for the other side. Okay, just do the same thing. Just stick them down on halfway on there, halfway on the surface you're working on, and just seal them down, just like that. So it's like, once again, you should have something that looks like this. So now stick this right on there, just like that. Okay. Now you're going to want to bring this over here and just try and keep it steady. And you're just going to want to put that right in there, if you can see that. I'll try and get it in camera view. There we go. So if you just see it right there, you just put this right in and fold this over. So right like that. Okay, so now you have pretty much the entire case. So now all you need to do is just do the same with the bottom. Take these two strips here and your double-sided strip. Stick them together like this. Okay, and do the same thing here. Just stick them down. You have to realign that one real quick. Okay, so just stick that down there. So now what we're going to do is just take this right here, stick it right like that, like you did before, but on the bottom. Bring that up and bend the rest of that over. So now you should have these open little gaps right here at the bottom. An easy fix, I have these little strips over here. A little bit off camera, so just cut out little strips like this. So they're 1 inch. They're pretty much just 1 inch squares. So that's pretty much it for that. For those measurements for these, just stick them on the side and peel them over. So there's a nice little rounded edge there. It looks nice. There's not like a big gap. Okay. The same on the other side, and there you go. So now you can take your, once you have that done, take your deck of cards here. I have mine right here, and just slide them right in. Go right in there, just like that. And so you can tweak this. You can tweak the size about this if you don't want. If you don't want to have like a bunch of space there. It's up to, you can choose how much you cut off for the side panels, and that will judge how much space you have in the middle. Okay, so now that's pretty much it for that. And now, like I said, these strips here for the flap. So these are really easy to make. Just take your first strip and your second one, and just stick them together to cover up the sticky side. And just on this one, just leave this little bit of a sticky side right here that's showing, and just flip it over so you get that nice rounded edge on the top. So now this on the bottom here, you're just going to take this last strip and just extend it down a little bit, just like that. So now you have this a little bit longer with the bigger piece of tape. Okay, so now just stick that down right there, and there you go. So now I have this little bit of sticky side that's showing right here. If that happens to you, you can just trim that off or put a piece of tape around that to round off the edge. All up to you. But that's pretty much the playing card holder. It's really cool, really easy to make. Doesn't take much tape at all, and compared to other creations that you have. So you can use like Velcro or magnets here in the front, whatever you prefer to use. It's all up to you. So that's pretty much going to end this thing here. Hope you enjoyed it. So if you have any ideas for the next tutorial or time-lapse, you can let me know in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do for you. Also, if you're going to check out the Facebook fan page, I'll have a link down in the description to that, as well as the Twitter page. And if you'd like to order a custom wallet to buy, you can also let me know about that. And if you'd like to check out some of the showcase videos I have up, I only have 2 right now. I have a few things in there that are for sale, so I'll put links in those 2 videos down in the description below if you want to check them out. It's really cool. So that's pretty much it. Once again, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. So if you did, leave a like. Really appreciate the feedback. And once again, as I always say, just enjoy the Wonder That Is Duct Tape.